Good morning. So let's talk about Joseph this morning. Joseph's story is kind of interesting to me, and it's been on my mind and heart for a while, and I couldn't figure out why, and I'm starting to understand a little bit as I think about it and ponder about what God is pointing out in this story. So here's what I've got so far. Joseph was the favored son of a favored son. Jacob obviously wasn't favored by his father, but he was favored by his mother, who pushed him into the blessing and was the driving force behind him. Then Jacob went on and had a favored son, Joseph, who he kind of pushed into position as well. He gave him a coat of many colors. He set him over jobs of his brothers. And then Joseph had these two dreams. And these two dreams, they were putting him above his family. And he unwisely told his older brothers, as an older brother I can say, don't brag about your dreams, don't brag about your I can't even think of the word, but don't brag to your older brothers about your upcomings. Anyway, and I think God showed him those dreams right away to set him on a path to humility, because before he could be uplifted, before he could be raised to the position of second only to Pharaoh in Egypt, he had to be humbled hard. Like, his brothers threw him in a pit, ripped his coat and said a wild animal had attacked him, lied to their father. And Dad would tell you they lied straight to their father for years and didn't show any remorse about it. But Joseph went and was thrown in this pit. Then he was put into slavery, and slavery back then was not anything cute or cuddly like these prisons we got now. I don't know what it was like, but yeah. So he was put into this slavery, and he was marched to Egypt, where he was sold to Potiphar. Then, at Potiphar's house, as he was doing his servantly duties, Potiphar's wife noticed him and said, I like me some of that guy. And she tried to get with him. And Joseph refused. And even to the point where he ran out with his coat behind him. So he basically ran out with basically just his underwear on. And I apologize to him basically twice. But he ran out with his underwear on, and that's it. Just to escape sin. And Potiphar's wife had the evidence of his coat to claim he had pushed himself upon her. Which I don't really know how that works, because if he was holding onto her coat, or she was holding onto his coat, to me that means, where did Joseph go if his coat is still here? I mean, did he leave it behind after the... Anyway, that's another rabbit hole. But he fled the scene. Potiphar's wife used the coat as a way to accuse him. Potiphar felt betrayed, as many of us would if our trusted employee or trusted friend was accused of sleeping with our wife. He threw him in prison. He met these two guys. He answered what their dreams were. One would be put to death soon, and the next one would be put back in favor of the Pharaoh. And then that led him to being placed in front of the Pharaoh to answer his dream, where it was the 7 fat cows and the 7 skinny cows. And they were talking about 7 years of good and 7 years of bad. So 7 years of good, plentiful, and then 7 years of famine. And then Pharaoh said, well, we need somebody who's equipped to handle this situation. So I'll promote you. And Joseph became second over all of Egypt, like his dream. It took him, I want to say 14 years. It took him a long time to reach that point. It wasn't just right away he woke up and there it was. He had his dream. Years later, it fulfilled itself. So everything is in God's timing. Everything is for a reason. I know that in Jacob's story, or Joseph's story, Joseph had to be humbled hard before he could be placed in a position of power, like second over all of Egypt. So if you're going through something, and I want to encourage you with this, if you're going through something, keep your eyes on the Lord. I'm trying to do this myself, so it's not just me encouraging you, it's me going through it as well. Keep your eyes on the Lord. Trust His plan. It may take a while, but things will come to fruition. Leave the past in the past. Joseph had to learn that lesson too. He had to leave everything behind, forget about what was behind him. If he didn't forget about it when he did test his brothers a couple times, but inevitably he forgave them and loved on them. So I want to encourage you by saying, don't give up, don't give in, trust in the Lord, keep stepping forward. His plan is greater than ours. Love y'all.